I went book shopping and I did some damage. Okay, so we're gonna do a little haul, or a pretty big haul, because I think I got a total of like 13 books. Now, the reason for the shopping was for myself, but also for my Etsy little bookshop where I do blind dates with a book. So of course I bought some because I wanted to restock. So it's kind of like half and half. Some are for there, some are for me, and I'll tell you where each one is from. Here's my receipt. I spent a total of $31, and that's not bad for like 13 books. That's like $3 a book. But I think the most expensive one that I got was like $12.50. I got one for $9.50, one for $7.50, and the rest of them were all $1. So I got a really good deal. Let's just jump right into it. Book number 1 is Woman in the Cabin by Ruth Ware, who is a very famous author who does like lots of thriller books. I've never read this book, but it was only $1, and this is going for the Etsy shop. I might keep it for a bit because I think I want to read it. It's really, really good condition, and I only got it for $1, but like this is perfect for like the fall winter vibes, like rain, travel, thriller. Sign me up. Next is another blind date with a bookshop read. It is The Kite Runner by Khaled Hosseini. I have read this book before, and it is one of my favorite books of all time. If you've never read this book, I definitely recommend it, but be wary, you will probably cry because it is super emotional and it's just so good. It was only $1, so it's going on the bookshop, but it's again in perfect condition, so I got really lucky, and whoever buys these will get really lucky as well. Oh, they smell so good. I love this book. Next book, also for the bookshop, is called Fight or Flight, and look how cute. It's a little rom-com. It's a Berkeley Publishing House rom-com, which are like one of my favorites, like one of my favorite little categories of books, because I love romance, I love rom-coms, and I love the Berkeley Publishing House. So for $1, wow. Another book for the bookshop is Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens, which was also a Reese's Book Club pick a few years ago, and of course it has its own movie now. I have read this book. I own the hardback copy of it, so I don't need another copy, so it will be going on the shop. It was only $1, and again, perfect condition. I remember reading this book and thinking, wow, this should be a movie, because it was just super entertaining, and like you could just picture it in your head. Like, you know, you probably know, sometimes you read a book and you're like, wow, this could definitely be a movie, because you can just picture it so well in your head. That's this one. Next is The Man Who Died Twice by Richard Osman. Again, just $1, and this is a thriller. I think this is part of like a series. He is also the author of the Thursday Murder Club mystery book, which if you've seen it, you probably know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I don't know what number book this is, so I don't know, but it's just a thriller, and it's perfect again for the fall season to read. It's only $1. Perfect freaking, what's it called? Perfect. I was just saying the word. Perfect. I really can't think of the word, but yeah, condition. Perfect condition is what the book is in. Another Reese's Book Club pick. It is Next Year in Havana by Chanel Clayton. So Reese's Book Club pick, perfect condition, just $1, and it's going on the bookstore shop because I have actually a Reese's Book Club genre. Why can't I talk? I have a Reese's Book Club genre, so you can always choose, you can always buy like Reese's Book Club, and then I get to kind of choose the mystery book, but this is going to be one of them, as is Where the Crawdads Sing, because they are both Reese's Book Club picks. So I'm going to keep the books that I'm keeping off to the side so I can kind of talk about those last, but I think it's the rest of the ones that I have, including this one potentially. This is another Ruth Ware book, and it is The Lying Game. So this was also a Reese's Book Club chosen book. Cannot talk today. I snagged this for just $1 as well. It's another thriller, and I've actually heard really good things about this one. Do I know what it's about? No. I don't know what like half of these books are about, but I've heard of them. And honestly, in my defense, I love going into books blindly. Like, that's probably one of my favorite things, because I don't know, I like not knowing what to expect. So this is just a thriller, and it's about the lying game. So That's all I can tell you. Another Reese's Book Club pick. If I end up having too many Reese's Book Club picks, then I'll either put them in like their actual genre, like historical fiction, romance, thriller, whatever it is. But yeah, I got quite a few Reese's Book Club books today. I really like the quality, or I don't know what this is printed on, but I love it. And then these edges, I have kind of like a love-hate relationship with them because sometimes I'm into them and sometimes I hate them, but right now I'm into it and I just really like this. This is cool, and I feel like this isn't too old of a pick. Definitely within the last year, so it looks really good. I'm a sucker for historical fiction. Might end up keeping it. This is The Sentence by Louise Erdrich, winner of the Pulitzer Prize. So this book I have actually had my eye on for like over a year. Every time I go to Barnes & Noble, I'm like, should I get it? Should I buy it? I end up not buying it, but I finally saw it at Book Off for $7.50, which is a really good deal. And I was like, you know what? It's in great condition. I've been wanting to read this for the longest time, so now I get to keep it. Although I was wondering, do I have this book? I don't think so. We'll go look for it right now, but hopefully I don't because I just bought it. This is a book about, if you can guess the sentence, it's about the justice system and incarceration. These last two books I for sure bought for myself. This one is The Housemaid's Secret by Frida McFadden. I read The Housemaid a few months ago. It's this one. It's Frida McFadden's. It's like the first book. I don't know if this is like a duology, but they like have the same cover, just a different color, almost the same title as well. So they might be related. I'm not 100% sure, but I did want to read this book, and it was $12.50, which I was like, that's kind of a lot compared to all the other ones I bought. But I looked it up on Target and they don't have it. Like Target.com does not sell this book. I don't know why. And then I looked it up on Amazon and it was $11.99. So I was like, with tax, I'm gonna end up paying more. And then I have to get it delivered. And it's like, I might as well give my money to a bookstore. So I ended up getting it, and I can't wait to read it. I gave The Housemaid like a 3.5 or a 4-star because it's not the best thriller that I've ever read, but it was solid and it was good and I enjoyed it. So we'll see what I end up rating this. I'll probably read this soon because I've been meaning to read it. Also, not to mention, I don't think it's ever been read. Like, the freaking spine has like nothing. I did so good finding books in perfect, pristine condition. Last book is another Reese's Book Club book. This is Sankofa, I think that's how you say it, but this is a hardback and it was only, I don't know if you can see that, but it was only $1. So I got really lucky and I'm gonna add this to my Reese's Book Club collection because I have quite a bit. I have to count them. I have no idea how many I have, but I have quite a bit. So I like to grow that collection and this is going into that collection. And yeah, do I have any idea what this one is about? No, but I know this was probably within the last like 5 months that it was the pick. So those are all of the books that I bought at Book Off. Quite a pile, but I didn't stop there. I said, okay, this is gonna be a bookish day. I'm gonna get more books. So I knew I had some books on hold at the library, so I went to go pick them up. The first one, An American Marriage by Tayari Jones. And this is in Oprah's Book Club selection from 2018, so it's not super new. I think I saw someone's review of this on TikTok and it seemed really good. It's about, again, the incarceration system and basically how it tears up families, but I don't really even remember who it was that reviewed it, but they just left a very lasting impression on me. So I wanted to read this book. Now, if you know nothing about me, I do have a criminal justice degree, so I feel like stories, books, novels about the justice system just really speak to me because it's something I'm genuinely interested in. So I think that's why this book kind of called to me, but I'm excited to read it and we'll see if I pick it up. I think I will. It's not very long. The next book is Wayward, and I'd be lying if I said I knew what this was about. I mostly got it because it's all over Bookstagram, it's all over Book Talk, and look at this cover. Very fall spooky season vibes. Last book I got, so I only picked up 3 books at the library and they were all holds, so that's why I went to pick them up. But the last one is The Hunting Wives, and honestly sometimes I will be scrolling on TikTok, come across reviews, run over to the library app and add books on my like hold list, and then they're available and I have completely forgotten what they're about. Ooh, it sounds like a thriller mystery because then a body of a teenage girl is discovered in the woods. So yeah, I'm interested. But anyway, I went to go look to see if I had this book that I told you guys I might have, and I don't have it. I think I got confused because these are giving me like Stripes abstract. So I was like, maybe I have it, and I know I've wanted this sentence for a really long time. So I was like, maybe I did end up buying it. But I didn't. I got it confused with these two, Black Cake and The People We Keep, which I have not read either. But if you recommend either of these, let me know and maybe I'll bump it up my TBR. Okay, last thing I kind of wanted to talk about was the current book that I'm reading, which is this one. It's called Night Crawling, a novel by Layla Motley. So this was also an Oprah Book Club pick from 2022, so last year. And so far it's giving me about a 3.5. I'm over 50% done, like 57-ish% done, and I want to finish it pretty soon because I have so many other books I need to read. So hopefully by the end of this video, I'm able to finish this and give you guys my review. But it's basically about a girl who lives in Oakland with her brother, who they're very, very poor and like just low socioeconomical status because their mom is in prison or in a halfway house. Their dad is like not in the picture. He actually died. So yeah, it's just them two, and they're, you know, trying to make ends meet, but brother is convinced that he can find like a rap job and like get famous. So that's kind of what he's committed to doing. And so she finds herself having to do literally anything and everything to get money. And the reason I actually picked this book up and wanted to read it was because I don't know if you guys have seen the movie Nightcrawler, I think that's what it's called, by but Jake Gyllenhaal is in it, and it's about like a journalist who does like covers the like overnight crime beat. So like any news story that comes out at night that's like criminal is the type of thing that he like is a journalist for, if that makes any sense. So I really thought that's what this was going to be about, but it's a different type of night crawling, if you get the gist. It's about a woman who has to do whatever it takes to make money on the streets in Oakland. So that's what it's about. And so far it has been entertaining, but you know what? I think it is going to give more of like criminal journalist vibes, because it tells you here on the little jacket of the book like a summary of it, and it says something about like her stumbling upon a criminal investigation. And I'm like I said, I'm like 57% done with the book, and like 50% through is when they brought up that criminal investigation. So maybe it is gonna like dive more into that, but as of now it's like a 3.5. But I'm gonna keep reading this, and then I honestly don't know what my next read is gonna be. I'm feeling maybe a romance because I'm a huge romance gal, and I've read so many thrillers and dark books lately, so I'm thinking romance, but I'm very much a mood reader, so by the end of this I could have changed my mind completely. Interesting, very interesting. Let me see exactly how far along I am. I use Storygraph to capture like the progress that I have in books. So yeah, I also use Goodreads, but mostly for like book tracking, not like pages, like not progress wise, but like goals wise, if you know what I mean. Storygraph I really enjoy. I'm currently 59% through. There it is, the first one. I'm also reading this Anthony Bourdain book that's like been sitting on my shelf over there, but that one I'm like slowly getting through. Like when I want to pick it up I'll read it, but this one I'm more so like I want to finish it so I can like start a new one. So yeah, 57% through. It doesn't look like I have that much left. I feel like this is not 57%, so I guess we'll see. But yeah, it's cool so far. It's more of like a contemporary fiction book, and I don't really pick these up that often. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, I'm giving it a cool like 3.5 stars so far. We'll see what happens. Good morning. Now that I'm seated and ready to eat, I'll show you guys what I'm gonna eat. It's just basically waffles with syrup and strawberries, and then on the side I put like a little bit of yogurt and my homemade granola. Yes, I make my own granola. And then coffee. That's hot. Okay, but anyway, like I said, let's get to the books. So I finally finished Nightcrawler by Layla Motley last night. And I ended up giving it 3.5 stars. Now, hear me out. The content in the book is very, very good, and the story, the plot, I really enjoyed it, and it's very important, so I do recommend it, of course. I did still love the book. I thought it was really good, but my biggest kind of things about it was that the writing itself, it kind of was very fluffy-ish. I feel like nothing really happened until the last half of the book. The first half was very slow and kind of like, it could have, I feel like, been shorter. I don't know. It just, the pacing was a little off. The language, the fluffiness was a bit off. But I did also read like the author's note, and it did say that she started writing this when she was 17 years old. So props to her for writing this at 17 years old. I'm sure at 17 I would have sounded so much worse. So, you know, reading that, I was like, okay, I'm not mad at that. I'm like, okay. But yeah, 3.5 stars, definitely recommend. The ending was pretty, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, it's rough, and it's a hard read, and it's about the criminal justice system. It's about, you know, African Americans. It's about women. It's about sex workers. It's a tough read. So I would recommend it, and I can see why it was on Oprah's book club in 2022. Now that that's finished though, I'm gonna start a new book, and it is actually gonna be Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. This has been on my TBR for literally probably a year now. Like, I don't even remember when this came out, but I've had this for a while, and I have read 2 other Abby Jimenez books. I just haven't read this one yet. I actually did a poll on my bookstagram if I should read this one or Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood, because I bought this one maybe last week, and this is definitely giving fall vibes, I feel like. I don't know why. This one kind of does too now that I think about it, because it's like, I don't know, it's giving me like nighttime. I don't know. So I did a book poll because I've been reading a lot of dark and heavy books, thrillers, so I want to change it up. Want to switch to a romance, so it was between these 2 books and Part of Your World won. So this will be the next book that I read. I'm probably going to start it today, and hopefully I get a good amount done. I'm so excited because the amount of things I've heard about this book, crazy. So yeah, that's what's coming up next. I'll give you guys my thoughts while I'm reading this, and if I get hooked, then I can probably finish this pretty quickly, but we'll see. Hey y'all, so I started Part of Your World. I'm literally only 20 pages in. I haven't been able to read too much like yesterday and today, so I'm very much in the beginning. But my thoughts so far, it's very cute. I'm noticing a trend in like all of Abby Jimenez's books where like the couples meet in such a random way, and I like that. Like, it's cute. It gives you something to like, I don't know, like that's what I think. I have a boyfriend, we've been together for like 7 years, so like I always wonder like, how do you meet new people? Like, you know what I mean? So this is like, so in my head, like realistic, and it's cute because it's like an actual romance. something happens from that random meeting. So that's cute, and the characters are cute. So far, so good. Only 20 pages in, but I'm hoping to read more of it today and give you guys more of an update. But I also turned the camera on because I wanted to show you guys, this is very bookish related, but I got two orders from my Etsy shop. If you don't know, I have a blind date with a book shop on Etsy. Let me show you. Okay, so like here's an example of one. It's just like a blind date with a book. So I have a bunch of different genres on my Etsy shop, and you can choose one, and then you just get to choose a genre, and I choose the book, and then I'll like make it a blind date or whatever, and it comes with like a bookmark, a little tattoo, a real wax seal, some like, you know, stickers and whatnot, like a little note and whatever. So let's see what was ordered. This order is a blind date with, so I also have a blind date with a book, but also like with an annotating kit and everything. So one of those was ordered, and I get to choose a genre for that. So that's cool. And the other one is, oh, okay. So there's two annotating kits and then one blind date with a book. Okay, so we're gonna get that together, and maybe I can show you guys kind of like what I do. But like, here's like 3 random books that I have that are like, can be part of the blind date with the book. So I'm gonna look through the books, decide, and then start my little wrapping. I started working on the orders a little bit, just kind of like putting together what books I want to get.